Welcome to Live Talk with PPN. We're joined tonight by a few of the PPN crew. Private XX, the man of mystery. Master Sergeant Jackson in the chat room. Captain Radar, Gunny Renegade, Sergeant Hawkeye, and myself, MG. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing fine, MG.
We're all here.
So, hey, did you guys watch that Union address last night?
No, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
Me either.
I know
I believe
was all
Gunny
on
did.
it. Oh, I
Gunny
think he
listened
listened to
to
it.
Yeah, I heard the replay on Fox.
Oh, you know, Fox is the best network going.
I turned it on and my wife turned it off.
You're
Hey,
limited when it comes to radio.
Kudos to your wife. I can't stand and look at the man. I mean, he just makes me nauseous.
I'm glad I didn't have to, but my ears were bleeding at the end of it.
Well, exactly how many lies did he say?
It'd be easier to count how many truths he actually said.
Which would be 0.
We have a winner.
I'm sure he had something that was somewhat semi-truthful.
That depends. Truth is conforming your mind to reality. But we all know he doesn't exist in reality, so you could say it is a truth. I'm looking here for one of the good spots.
So good.
You actually have notes on this?
No, I'm reading the transcript. Looking for something.
Now your eyes are going to be bleeding.
Oh, and then he said we need to use our American strength of diplomacy and not actively get involved overseas, which I don't exactly disagree with. But apparently he was enamored with Ukraine and Syria. Failed to mention our 10 sailors that were captured by Iran.
Oh, yeah, that was something else.
Yeah, that was a little slap in the face of the Navy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, apparently we eliminated Ebola, too.
Really?
There will never be another case of Ebola as long as he is president.
You mean for the rest of the year?
That would be my guess. Of course, he believes it's going to go much longer than that.
What a moron.
We're gonna shoot the moon, and Mr. Biden's going to lead a crusade against cancer, and we're going to have a cancer cure. I'm not sure how he's going to do that one.
You already have a cancer cure. It's patent, and they won't release it. Why? Let me tell you why.
They would lose their funding.
Yes. And it's the biggest moneymaker.
Because they're a bunch of...
Greedy little honkers.
Well, let's see. Number 4 was the big one. I got to find it here. Missed it. Where the devil
Wouldn't we
did
need
you put it?
jobs to even think about giving people wages?
Oh, that was point 1 was jobs. But his idea of jobs was that we need to bring, everybody should be, every, quote, good student, which I beg to question what he considers good student, will get 2 free years of community college.
Who's going to pay for it? Taxpayer, eh?
That's what I was yelling.
Well, that's bullshit.
I'm not paying for any more idiots to go to college.
Their idea of jobs is a good paying job is like, oh, he's making $9 an hour. Ooh, yeah.
No. McDonald's burger flippers make 15 now.
Depends on where they're at.
Oh, and apparently if you don't believe in global warming, you're in the minority. Because all the scientists say it's happening, and everybody in Congress says it's happening, so therefore it must be happening.
Oh, and that's causing all the refugee outbreak. You know why they're, acting like they are, raping people, killing people. It's all because of the climate change.
Yeah, he said that too.
I thought
bullshit.
that's why the
If
terrorists...
they walk out my door, I got a lot of global changing going on up here, right, MG?
Oh, yeah, definitely. No, I'm telling you what, I'm being female, and maybe this might just not affect females, might affect everyone, but I get the winter blues. And around February, I feel like a caged rat. Like I need to get the hell out and get on my bike or something. So I have never been put to the point where I want to rape, pillage, and cause mayhem because I have the winter blues. I just pop a vitamin D3 and I'm good to go. So this climate crap affecting what they're doing is a farcity, okay? And that's being nice. It's total bullshit.
Well, when you really get down to it, MG, A lot of like the psychological issues we face nowadays are due to lack of vitamins and minerals that we need to live in our food.
GMOs.
Exactly.
Hey, XX, check your mic. It's awful staticky.
I'm on the same mic I was last night.
Are you sitting on it?
No, it's laying on top of me.
Oh my.
And after what you just ate, I can imagine. Let me tell you something, guys. XX, he's one of our members. This guy has the best, healthiest appetite. He eats all the good stuff. And when I say good, it doesn't mean that it's good for you. It's just tasty. He's the type of guy that goes to the doctor, and the doctor doesn't tell him, hey, you're going to end up with a coronary. No, the doctor says, you're going to give me a coronary.
You know, I was going to take a picture of it again tonight, but by the time I remembered to take the picture again, it was gone.
See? You need to taste your food. You need to slow down. You need to be able to put that across your palate and remember it and know that it's nice and tasty. And when you're done eating, you can describe exactly what you ate.
I'm savoring the memories.
Yeah, saving the memories, but you can't even take a picture because you inhale it. Unreal.
Well, that's what you got to eat.
Well, everyone's got to eat, but goddamn.
And really, that is all I had for dinner.
That's insane.
What? No milkshake?
No, it was ice cream. You know, but the funny thing is, though, after I was done with the ice cream, I thought about getting a milkshake.
There you go.
Who does that?
Me?
Do you need
Me
snacks?
when I don't have a sinus infection.
Do you XX? Do you need snacks? Do you want us to send you some ding dongs, some ho hos, some?
No, actually, I've kind of quit eating those.
You know, they ask for French vanilla creamer.
I'm trying to get rid of ice cream.
Oh, but you need the calcium. It's the calcium. Come on.
Hey, he needs to mix it with the fluoride that he's getting in his water.
You know, funny thing is, they don't add fluoride to my water here.
Really? Are you on public water?
Yes.
And they can't dilute it enough. There's no water down there, so.
Actually, there is fluoride in the water, but it's naturally produced.
No shit.
They don't have to add it because it's high enough in it already.
Huh.
I read the water reports that they send out every year.
Well, damn. So.
But regardless of that, I'm filtering 95% of the fluoride out anyway with my reverse osmosis.
Ah, you got one of them handy jobs, do you?
We don't even get water reports around here. I'd hate to read that.
Yeah,
it's a law. They have to send them out.
I don't drink the water around here. We got genuine camp water. It's what we call camp water, straight off the mountain. It's better for you. It's you know, you don't have all the crap. And even the kids.
We need to make a road trip.
Yeah, we have a 16-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they both say they rather prefer that water to any other water, even bottled water. So, you know.
Well, bottled water is just tap water stuck in the bottle.
Some of it is glorified tap water, you're right. So back to this union address, I'm just curious. I mean, come on, fill me in, Gunny, because like I said, I didn't watch none of it. I didn't feel like, you know, hurling my lunch. I just can't deal listening to this man. I know everything that comes out his mouth is lies, lies, lies. And I just can't wait for the day that we can give him the good old-fashioned boot. I did hear, though, wasn't he trying to get in with the UN?
I hadn't heard that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He wants to run that shit. So he'll be even a bigger threat to the United States as being a UN Secretarial General than he would be being a United States President. And if that's the case, guess what? We're all screwed.
Yeah, but he won't have all the Secret Service protection he does now. He won't last long.
Well, I don't know how that shit works. I mean, I don't know. I don't put nothing past him no more. We all know it's out in the open. He is Muslim. Come on. He's been caught doing his prayers 3 times, 5 times, 80, 100 times a day.
Well, even when he
Molesting
was,
goats.
Oh Lord.
when
Do they have
Obama,
goats in DC?
Somewhere.
Bah, bah,
Hasn't brought in.
Oh my God.
even when Obama was running for the first time, he was actually caught on camera
With a goat?
talking to George Stephanopoulos. And he said, "Oh, Senator McCain has not brought up my Muslim faith." Obama said that.
And he also said it to who? George meteorologist.
George Stephanopoulos.
Oh, Clinton's buddy.
Yeah.
I think they're all in cahoots.
Yeah, it's like a big bag of dicks.
They're all part of the Big Buddies Club.
Okay, you want to know how far he made it into a speech before he told the first whopping lie?
Go for it.
The second paragraph.
Damn, I give him 3
First
seconds.
sentence. The only reason it took him that long is because the Democrats kept wanting to jump up and go, "Yay! We won the presidency! Yay!"
You know they have a big light that flashes. It says here, start clapping here.
Halfway through, though, the only people standing to applaud him was his cabinet. The Senate, the Democrats, Republicans, and the Supreme Court all sat there with their arms crossed and went, "What the are you trying to sell us now?" And half the Supreme Court refused to show up after what he did to him a couple years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Because they're not required to be there.
Yeah.
In fact, this whole charades didn't start until Woodrow Wilson, because the only thing that Thomas Jefferson did for State of the Union was write down the budget for the federal government and where the money was spent and sent that to Congress, and that was all that was required. This didn't start till Woodrow Wilson decided he had to be a spectacle.
You know everybody needs attention. Some more so than others. Oh yeah.
And the lie he told was our economy is growing and creating jobs at the fastest pace since '99.
Where is he getting these statistics? I'd like to know, because they need to be flushed.
1899?
Yeah, right?
1999. He said our employment rate is now lower than it was before the financial crisis. More of our kids are graduating than ever before. More of our people are insured than ever before. We are as free from the threat of foreign oil as we've been in almost 30 years.
That's why the gas prices are so low. And that's why that's why they're not drilling wells.
Didn't they say there's 95,000 unemployed people in the United States right now?
That doesn't include all the people removed from the labor market.
Exactly.
Yeah. Take the unemployment number and double it. That's about how many you have unemployed. Because the people that just stop looking for work, they aren't counted.
Yeah, After your unemployment runs out, they wipe them off the map. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
They've been doing it forever, even like when Carter was in office.
Right.
And no one would have thought that you'd have a president worse than Carter was.
And
lo and behold, we have this one twice.
Magically, they cut the department that tracks like all these labor statistics. They cut it out of the budget back when the whole economy started to tank.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah, I know, right?
All I gotta say is, you know what? When the next president comes in, if we get that far, is going to have a hell of a job on his hands.
Oh yeah.
So what's the next
one
lie?
he can't get?
Oh yeah, exactly.
It'll take him 2 terms, and another one like him 2 terms, and another one like him.
Well, they did say that a lot of the Democrats are jumping their spot and going to Republican now.
Hey, I see a ceiling fan, and it ain't mine.
That's the mystery man.
Our resident troll says, please stay on topic.
We're trying to. We're talking about the union address. That's the one topic.
Oh, can I go on Nikki Haley's nice little rendition?
Yeah.
Hey, go for it.
Yeah, you might as well piss us off the rest of the way, bub.
Oh, okay. She made it about halfway through her speech before I lost my marbles. I was losing them before, but...
Did you ever have them?
My wife debates that, but I still assume that there's something in there that rattles when I have a headache.
She's not alone, but anyway.
That's called your wife.
Okay. She said, and I'm reading it, and it's got quotes on it, so this is what ABC said she said. We removed a symbol that was being used to divide us, and we found a strength that united us against a domestic terrorist and the hate that filled him. Okay. Idiot was an idiot and delusional and on psych meds. He should have been in a psych ward. Just saying that. He was no more a terrorist than anybody else that owned a gun. The only difference is he decided to walk into a church and kill people.
Right.
They picked a photo of him posing with a flag and then went after the flag, saying the flag caused it. And here's the big thing. Guess who found the photo with the flag on it?
Obama.
George Soros.
Oh, go figure.
Media Matters dug through all his Facebook pages and found one photo with him with a license plate between his legs on the front of his car that had Sons of the Confederacy on it, and him holding a little Confederate flag, like you would put on a gravestone.
So it wasn't even a big...
And you can buy those at any Civil War battlefield that you go to.
And when he did the attack on the church in South Carolina, he was wearing the apartheid patch, or the patch with the apartheid flag of South Africa on it, not the Confederate flag. But the Confederate flag's what caused it, so
well, yeah.
Racist now.
I have never in my life seen such a pansy society as it is now. And Obama started all this crap with his LGBT shit. And, the thing about it is he attacked the African Americans. Then he attacked where'd he go next? Jeez, I'm lost for words here.
He's attacked everybody but the Muslims and the gays.
Well, yeah. He's went through every genre of people, if you want to put it that way. Illegals, the Hispanics, and the bikers, and I guess what now's the ranchers, the rednecks. They're the next in line to get, So he's dividing everybody. He's got everybody at each other's throats. This offends me. That offends me. The way you look at me offends me. Change it. I cannot condone pulling down and disseminating our history to accommodate somebody else, especially foreigners, people who are just, being brought to our country or from whatever means, whether it's right or wrong. Whenever they tell me something or tell everyone, oh, this offends me, I want it removed, this cross offends me, I want to... You know what? How many atheists we've had in our country, oh my God, since before my time, has never been offended by the cross. And if they were, so fucking what? They went ahead and went somewhere else. They didn't... It didn't bother them. They didn't make it a big deal. They didn't go on Twitter and freaked out. You know what I'm saying? So why all of a sudden is this being thrown at us, so in your face all of a sudden with all this stuff?
All right, I have a theory, and that is more and more people are on some sort of prescription drug, and SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, also known as psych drugs, and those actually mess with someone's mental chemistry and their brain chemistry. And how do we expect people to still be standing up for something when they're being torn down at a biological level?
I believe it. I believe it because you know what? RXs are up right now. Big pharma, big pharma. We're going to mandatory vaccinate, and this is what's wrong with this person. That's what, and that kind of leads up to the gun control because now if you have some kind of mental instability, whether it be depression or you're mad at your grandma, I mean whatever, they're going to find a reason why you are incapable of being able to, what's the word? Govern your own self. And he said it come right out of his mouth. We are too feeble-minded to be able to govern our own self. That's why we no longer have control with our children, how we raise them. That's why you have a lot of criminals today. We have no control of our food. They're poisoning the crap out of us. All these different things, And it's all because he's pushed for this gun control. Get rid of our guns, and then that's going to leave it so that, hey, we're done. Everything's done. I mean, look at the criminal rate in all these places that no longer have, are able to have. Chicago. Look at Chicago. Australia. Look at Australia. Europe. Oh my gosh. Europe. Okay, to get rid of the guns, they got a mass influx of Syrians right now and the like. Mass rapes, pillaging, whatever. And now they're asking to turn in your knives.
Well, look over in England. I mean, even before the whole refugee thing, they had massive gun control issues and stuff, and they started stabbing each other. I mean, as long as there is a way to hurt somebody, somebody will do it.
Hey.
If somebody wants to kill somebody, they're going to kill them. It don't matter what they use.
We're going to outlaw rocks next?
Yeah, run you over with a car or whatever.
Well, that's already been done.
You don't have to use
but they don't outlaw cars because
look what happened in California.
Too much money.
She ran down all those people.
Yeah, in Vegas.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yelling Allah Yakbed or whatever out the window.
Yeah, with her, what was her estranged husband or something and kid in the back seat.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So what was the next lie he had to spill?
The next lie, let's see. Oh, our combat mission in Afghanistan is over. We're all done. Okay, bye-bye. No more need for us over there. Let's see. That was the third paragraph.
Good Lord.
Let's see. The shadow of crisis has passed, and the state of the union is strong. Hey, moron. The state of the union is not strong. The state of the disunion is strong.
Is he trying to say it enough to make these sheeple believe that everything's peachy?
If you tell a lie enough, people start to believe it.
Well, you go back to the definition of truth is conforming your mind to a reality. Since he believes this is his reality, which nobody else does, but he believes this is reality to him, this is his truth. So he's not willfully misleading. He actually believes this stuff, I would have to venture.
Well,
I think he's willfully misleading.
Well, not only that, but I think he does have some mental issues. Like, he should be on some of them SSRI drugs because he actually believes his own lies, and he's so passionate when he delivers his lies. Like, they call him, he's the narcissist. I mean, it's obvious and delusional, but anybody who's awake or has half a brain can see that everything he says is quite the opposite.
Oh, look, Vladimir Putin has discovered an Ebola vaccine.
How about that? No wonder we're not going to have Ebola anymore.
Sydney Opera House is being evacuated by police.
Sydney?
Sydney, yes.
Huh.
Numerous suicide bombers, heavy exchange of gunfire in Jakarta, Indonesia. Thank you, Top, for posting all of these on our page so I can read them real quick. Blast heard in Indonesia capital, Jakarta, casualties reported.
Huh. Oh, and don't forget the earthquake in Japan.
And the 6.7 earthquake in Japan. We could run a running news desk at this rate.
You know, I mean, it's like nonstop. It comes and comes and comes. Like I said in the beginning, it never ends. It's constantly hitting you. And if you don't get prepared today so that you can survive tomorrow, you're going to be screwed. And you can't look to your fellow neighbor whom you've been friends with all these years to save you. It's not going to happen. They have to take care of their own, just like you need to take care of your own. And if you rely on anyone else, as you know, like a lot of people do, you know, I've tried to wake up friends, and they only rely on me for, you know, well, what do I do now, or what if this happens, and they're all gung-ho, and the next thing you know, they're spending money on this, and this, when they should have been saving up to prep and get ready and get prepared. But you know what? They prioritize in the wrong direction. So those kind of people, I stopped trying to help, because they're never going to get it till it actually happens to them. It needs to happen at home, and then they'll wake up at the last minute and say, well, damn, I should have listened. But needless to say, everything that happens every day, when it comes to either politics or some crap in the news or somebody taking over a bird refuge or some other standoff somewhere else, guess what? It all is the same thing. It's all about getting informed, getting the correct information, ignoring the disinformation, and do what's best for you at home with your family. You have to think about what you need to do to survive, to protect yourself, defend yourself, all these different things. And it doesn't matter if it's a tornado, a hurricane, you know, Obama with his lies. I mean, every little thing is going to, on any level, will affect your life daily, you know, and if you don't prepare for that, you're going to be caught sleeping, and next thing you know, you're going to be the one asked out and looking for help, and there ain't going to be any help.
I think a important point to make, ma'am, is when you say what you need to do for you to be ready, not what you need to do to steal stuff from someone else, but you. Worry about you, what you need to do.
Exactly. I have been prepping. I've got my food, I've got my water, I've got my gear, and you know, you don't want to voice that too much to people exactly what you have, because then that's easy cash that they can come along and, you know, this house has this, so we're going to go in here and get this stuff from these people. Well, now you know, we don't have any guns because they've, taken our guns from us. Okay, this is a hypothetical situation. They've taken our guns from us. How am I going to protect myself? A fork? A knife? You know, a rock? Yeah, I mean...
Bone them to death.
Yeah, exactly. You know? So, I mean, seriously,
The first murder did take place by a stone. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Are we back to biblical times?
This is Cain and Abel.
Okay, biblical times.
Cain bashed Abel's head into a rock.
He bashed his head into a rock, or the rock into his head?
I'm not sure, but I know the rock had blood all over it.
Irregardless, whatever means necessary to defend yourself, you know, that doesn't mean that, you know, and we're all going to be desperate. Okay? Everyone, people who run out of preps, even though they prepped and didn't think far enough ahead, they're going to run out of stuff, and they're going to need to secure more stuff. But until you take the moral high road versus the low road, you need to know how to scavenge and how to find things logistically, so that you're not creating a bad society versus a good society, you know, right from wrong. But again, that ties into our everyday living with how parenting is. You bad parenting, you're raising criminals, and the next thing you know, bad situation happens, weather, polar shift, meter comes down and knocks you out, martial law for some stupid reason, you know, for ego reasons, whatever happens. And now you're sitting there going, well, shit, you know? And it's sad because a lot of people don't notice that until it hits at home. It's like a traffic stop, an intersection. How many fatalities have to happen at that intersection before they put a light up?
10.
And you know, I mean, that's how it is. My neighbor across the street, same thing. You know, she's going to prepare. She's going to get her CCW. She's going to, you know, start prepping, whatever, and it never gets done. But she can go get this and go get that and do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's prioritizing, and it's not going to. She's not going to wake up. She's not going to. It's not going to hit her until something happens at home, and when that happens, it's too late.
Yep.
Well, this just in. Apparently, somebody has won the $1.5 billion Powerball.
What would you do with all that money?
Probably everything that the government would put me on a government watch list.
Super prepping to the max.
I don't know, a big farm with a bunker and...
Now you just sound like a tinfoil hat wearer.
I wouldn't have to build, like, buy a missile silo. I would build my own.
Yeah, I can see you building something now.
I'd buy my cousin out of the camp and then go from there.
Well, I'd like to get a radio station where you can reach all over the world. Just to get the real news.
Yeah.
I mean, the real true news, not what mainstream media wants you to know.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
The pictures are starting to come in for the Indonesia explosions.
Well, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. There's a YouTuber out there, and until I can give names or whatever, you know, you have to get permissions. That's just, you know, sportsmanlike conduct. And I follow this guy, and he's all about the moon, the lunar stuff, and all that. And he has been on the UFO kick lately, and he had noticed that the moon, and he's got high-powered equipment. I mean, super-powered equipment. And a lot of his subscribers had helped him build his equipment, and he had caught a some kind of wave in the moon, like a holographic wave, okay? And he didn't want to believe this because, I mean, hey, we're all skeptics to some degree on everything. That can't be right, you know? So he started contacting other fellow moon watchers, if you want to call them that, and asked them to, you know, calculate their times because, you know, we're all in different time zones. And at the exact precise time, take a, you know, video of the moon. And if it had that same holographic wave somewhere else, and as it is his, then it must be true. And see, that would be the cool thing, is to be able to get first-hand information from another country or whatever of showing what's really going on at that time, just like he did. Because you're not going to get it in mainstream media. You're going to get chopped up lies or whatever they want you to know, and not the real story.
No, they won't even bother touching it to begin with.
I can tell you what the original Twitter was.
Okay.
It was called Ham Radio, and they still use it.
Yep.
There you go.
That's how you get real news, because you talk to real citizens in other countries that are actually there.
Exactly.
And you don't have to deal with the MSM and the garbage from their political leaders.
Yeah, but see, with the ham radio, you're only getting things in audio. You're not getting anything visual. And a lot of people, unless they can see, hear, taste, or touch it, they're not going to believe it.
Yeah, but at least they could tell you what to look for. Like,
right.
This picture isn't even of where they're saying it is. You know, that sort of stuff.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you can look it up on the internet and get it to correspond with what they're saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
and prime example of that. People were posting this article, regurgitating it, if you will, over and over and whatever, oh, this is my article, but using the same picture. And they were saying how they were protesting the refugees. No, that wasn't the case. That was their New Year's parade. And yes, a few people were carrying signs saying, you know, protesting the refugees. Only a few, maybe a few hundred. But for the most part, that entire huge-ass crowd was all for their New Year's parade.
Which one are you referring to?
Oh, see, you had to put me there. For the life of me, I can't remember. I think it was in Germany, like a few months ago, or a couple months, like a month or so.
The one in Poland?
Yes, that's it.
I actually had a Polish friend that's got family over there that said, yes, they were protesting, and that was the protest. That was not the New Year's Day stuff. That was the actual protest.
Wasn't
they
the
were
New
upset.
Year's Day stuff around the same time, though?
No, this was back in November.
Yeah. Okay. And then Cologne, Germany, Well, it was when they had all that stuff go on New Year's Eve with the rapes and fondlings and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Cologne. But the one picture that you're referring to from Poland was in not Donetsk, Danks.
Danks. Yes.
I can look it up on Google.
It was Danks, and one of our members at the time had said that it was their New Year's. It wasn't about the protest because did you see how many people were on that bridge?
Oh, it was a lot, and they were burning.
Oh, it was mega thousands.
Yeah, it was in Gdansk, up there by the port, almost up there by Lithuania.
Yeah. Okay, well then I stand corrected. Then apparently the information that I got was because I was sitting there going, okay, well they'll keep regurgitating the same picture and just saying different things about it. But that has happened.
Yeah, that's happened. But that one I did check with my contacts. That one is legit.
So basically, how long was this address? Was this an hour long?
Like 45 minutes for the State of the Union. It was a rather short one. He didn't highlight what his agenda would be, even though he basically stuck his finger up and said if anyone wants campaign advice, I'll be shaking hands later.
Really?
There it is.
Which, if anyone's smart, they won't be seen shaking his hand.
Mm.
Is that when you heard the toilet flush when he said that?
There was a rumor that I had heard that somebody got up and walked out right in the middle of the speech.
They all should have. They all should just get up and walked out. There you go.
Oh, yeah. They've showed some pictures, too, where some of the military were sitting there just, like, in a stone-cold stare, like, if looks could kill?
Probably the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were probably there by order of the president.
Yeah, they...
No surprise there, eh?
They're not allowed to do... They're like the Supreme Court. They're not allowed... They don't stand up and applaud or anything. So if you ever see a standing room ovation, you will not see the Supreme Court stand up, and you won't see the Joint Chiefs of Staff stand up. Their view is totally apolitical, or supposed to be apolitical, which is why it aggravated the Supreme Court a couple years ago when Obama was bashing them over Citizens United ruling.
Right.
And that's why a lot of them didn't show up this time. Because they're not required, again, they're not required to. Joint Chiefs are required to normally because they're ordered by the president to be there, and he's the, quote, commander-in-chief. So, to look good, you show up.
Right. Well,
he went on to say about what a great wonder Obamacare is and how it's made everything
what
better.
a great failure
it is. Great nightmare, yeah.
And then he went on to say about how the deficit shrunk. And,
I want to know how many
CNN
times
can't update their pictures.
How many times did he refer to himself?
Actually, it looks like he used more of the colonial we.
You know, because maybe it's been brought to his attention.
Because he says stuff like, we gave our citizens schools and colleges. Wait, who says we? I didn't give anybody anything.
Right.
Sure he did, you just didn't know it.
We gave that to him on the backs of the taxpayer's dollar.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. We give out free cell phones and all kind of shit on the taxpayers' dollars while these other ones sit around with their thumbs up their asses.
And to release all these Gitmo guys so they can go right back out there doing the same shit they did that got them in there in the first place.
Whoa, not any old Gitmo guys. High-ranking Gitmo guys.
To
What's
get back
about?
a deserter.
Yeah.
Who's
last
now
I
being
knew
tried.
last I knew, Bergdahl was going to get prosecuted for that.
He's being prosecuted right now. Article 15 court-martial. No, it's not Article 15. It's a general court-martial.
All right.
I can actually look it up here to make sure.
For the runaway?
Right.
Yeah, Bergdahl.
Yeah, they're going to court-martial him.
He's being court. I know it's
And And then I forget how long the prison sentence is, supposedly.
He's looking at charges for desertion and misbehavior before the enemy.
And back in the day, they used to just shoot you for that.
Yeah, he's lucky we're not in a declared war. And typing. He's looking at life in prison, according to CNN. As soon as it loads up here.
Well, see, that's another thing. This is my theory. If you're going to give someone 500 consecutive life sentences, even one, why don't we just, if they went through the justice system, as in they have X amount of time to do an appeal after they've been found guilty and put on death row, they give them 6 months to a year to appeal it. If their appeal fails, take them out back and deal with it. and be done.
Not only deal with it, but just like they used to, put them in the middle of the public square downtown in whatever town and hang them where everybody can watch it.
And that'll learn them a lesson.
Because those other idiots that want to go that route will say, that's where you end up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, my understanding of the court-martial regarding military, if they commit a murder or something, if they get the death penalty, they cannot be put to death unless the president signs off on it. Doesn't matter who, the Supreme Court, no, but the only person that can finally tell them to put the bullet or whatever in his head is the president. And we all know this president is not going to sign the death warrant.
No, he'll pardon him.
He'll go out there and stake a LGB flag.
No, LGBTI.
No, it'll be a...
Don't forget the I.
For crying out loud.
The fuck's the I, idiot?
With Bergdahl, it'll be the black...
The I's the idiot.
With Bergdahl, it'll be the black flag with the Muslim writing on it.
Exactly.
It says, I screw goats.
Exactly.
Let's go in a different direction. I've had enough of this Obama stuff. We could go for days on his failures and how he's the worst president of the world. I mean, anywhere. Even North Korea. And that guy's an idiot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but at least
that's putting it lightly.
I mean, come on. This dude...
He's a full-blown retard.
Deranged, okay? Little Napoleon syndrome deranged idiot.
10 minutes.
Right? Look, little Asian man, we don't eat our kitties.
I thought they ate dogs.
They do.
Honestly, I thought that was Filipinos. Don't they eat dogs?
Koreans eat dogs.
What, are we going to piss off every nationality out there? Come on, let's go.
Might as well. We're on a roll.
I'm sorry. I cannot taste something that can taste me back. Like cow tongue. No way. Ain't passing this lips. Ain't going to happen. Speaking of snacks. Come on now. Y'all got me chomping at the bit to do this next one.
Let's get on to Santilli's nightmare of stupidity.
They're gonna hang you at the stake or burn you at the stake for that comment. Don't be bashing Santilli. I mean Shitelli.
If you want to get a hold of me, we're in the same state.
Exactly. Come on, brother.
Come on up.
Bring it down here. Everybody right now is...
I'm allowed to carry my gun.
Right? He's an idiot. I mean, come on. I've had this force fed down my throat, and yes, I can click that off button. But like a train wreck, you just can't not look. Okay? I'm sorry. It's true.
Dead bodies. Let's watch Chantilly.
If you don't like the channel, turn a freaking channel. But
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Like I said, it's a train wreck. You cannot not look. All right? And I cannot help how his behavior was at the Bundy Ranch. I cannot help his behavior was in Baltimore. And now we see even more so at the bird refuge in Oregon. And I'm just like, I'm in awe and wonder of how this guy ties his shoes in the morning.
He has that assistant.
Yes.
What's her face?
But she talks about bad hair days and she's got a cold. And the weather.
Well, it sucks when you have a bad hair day.
And then everybody is going to jump on one of our fellow YouTubers because he does a little skit. I'm going to unsubscribe. Boo frickety-hoo. Dude, this whole thing is a joke. From start to now, it's been a joke. I can you look at Ammon, and of course he looks like, you know, he's serious about what's going on. He's passionate about what's going on because it happened to him. Okay, in a bad way, really bad way. I mean, there was cattle being killed and whatnot for no reason. And so I can understand his justification. I can understand his passion behind it. The way he went about it was so wrong. Okay, but here we are now. And my beef the most about all that's going on and how things are being mishandled and how they're changing the game plans in the middle of the game and whatever. I sat down and I viewed these videos that were getting the quote-unquote, if you all can see me holding my hands in the air right now, giving you air quotes, the real story. So Chitelli goes up there to give the real story. And, you know, some of his live streams are like 3 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, whatever. And if you actually sit there for that entire time, you're staring at 5 blades of grass sticking through the snow. You're staring...
Or the front end of cars and...
the road.
Yeah, nothing whatsoever.
And look, I'm not going to completely bash this guy. Okay, yes I am. But first, I'm going to give him some credit. I've got, by the way, if you can hear that, 32 pages of notes on this guy. Because he just makes my skin crawl. And the reason I say that is because he's so contradictive, and he reminds me so much of a political leader we have out there right now that's a narcissist also, that changed the game plan in the middle of the game to suit his benefit, and who seeks a lot of attention by naming himself several times in every speech he gives, and lies and believes his own lies, so therefore they're not lies, and has a following of the same that he is. And if you don't agree with him, you're a troll. If you say anything negative about him, regardless of the situation, he cannot take constructive criticism, you're a troll. You're a douche. You're a dunce cap wearer. Okay? It just behooves me that he can even function by himself without being told what to do. Oh, wait, he did get told what to do the other day. Deb told him how to talk to people as far as interviews. He's a radio guy. That's all he is. He's good to be on the radio, but the unfortunate thing is he was thrown off the radio, and now he's on internet doing YouTubes. And he confronted an ABC guy, and he got butt hurt from this ABC guy because, you know, they don't give him the time of day out there because he's a nobody. Nobody knows him. You know? So he gets upset and bent out of shape about it. And he attacks this guy, you know, saying, oh, the government pays you, blah, 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 whatever. I'm self-funded. No, you scream and beg and moan about donations. Come on, people. Yeah. Fund this 3 blades of grass in here for 3 hours. Fund this bumper for 3 hours. You know, where's the real news?
He said these people are sending him money, paying for his food, his hotel room, and his internet access or whatever he's using.
Broadband.
To look at
grass.
Somebody's freaking minivan for an hour and a half. While he's out walking around, God knows what he's doing.
I just, you know, I don't get it. I don't know if he's having an identity crisis, if he had a weird child life growing up that he wasn't getting enough attention.
He had a bad realty business going.
Well, aside the fact, everybody's got skeletons in their closet. I mean, you can look the guy, you can Google him for days, and people rant about the same things. And it's funny. This is the funny thing. He says, "Don't believe everything that you Google about me." Okay, right? Okay. He said this. He says, because you're gonna have government trolls. I'm on the FBI jumbotron.
Yeah. Okay. Bullshit.
I'm on the drone list. whatever.
They
Okay.
could give a rat's ass.
Don't forget. I think beginning of this year, he was pulled over by some police officers for being on a terror watch list.
Well, actually,
supposedly.
I think the story kind of went that they pulled him over for some kind of infraction, whether he had a tail light out or whatever. They don't just pull you over because you're on the watch list.
Right. Well,
So they had a reason to pull him over, and then found once they ran his information that he was on the terror watch list, and for whatever reason acquired to find that he had a gun in his car, and he did not have a carry permit. So therefore there was his infraction. But all mysteriously, that's been wiped away. It's gone. It's it's been dropped.
He was probably carrying it under the federal act and not under the state act, and cops aren't exactly trained on the difference.
Well, either way, I mean, it's neither here nor there. The thing I'm most beefing about is that, if you claim to give real news, then give real news. But he's claimed several different reasons why he's there. First was for the real news. Then it was to help the Hammonds. And now he's a patriot. He's a patriot. And he's going to be there for the people. And you are a low-life piece of crap if you don't come out there. You're a keyboard commando. Hey, I'm sorry, we're not funded by our subscribers. We can't just pick up our lives and run out to Oregon to freeze our bazongas off. We can't get funded like that. We can't get a bag of dicks sent to us.
Hold on, let me get on Amazon.
We're smart enough not to get trapped in a honey trap.
Exactly. And everybody's going to bash our fellow YouTube guys, by calling it a honey trap. This shit's going to unfold, and then it's going to be all on their eggs on their face. But what gets me is, if you're going to be a journalist to get the real scoop, to get the real story, you're going to have decent camera equipment to be out there to get the real story. You're going to be able to get good interviews because you know how to question them without attacking them. Okay? You can't put yourself in that position. Everywhere he goes, whether it was a Bundy Ranch, the Baltimore thing, Oregon thing, he has to become what's going on. He's a provocator. He's constantly in people's faces, and he's saying it's because it's for the better good. It's to get the real, true story out there. He's making things worse by acting an ass than he is if he was truly helping these people. You don't see Ritz out there acting like that. You don't see Blaine Cooper out there acting like that. You don't see any of these other guys acting a fool, yelling, screaming, bull hog horning, whatever, going to these meetings acting like an ass. The meeting he was thrown out of was justified. And the reason why I say that, and I'm a constitutionalist, I don't care what anybody says, there's ways of doing things and there's ways not to do things and know how to be tactful about it. If he would have just held his composure like a professional who's getting the real story, and then at the end question that, he would have time to question that judge.
Yeah, let those people throw out their bullshit, and then when they're done, get your interview. That one meeting, the first one they had at the fairgrounds, you couldn't hear a damn thing the guy said. So you wasted all that camera time. You couldn't even hear what that guy was saying.
Out of 49 videos, added up to 30 gigs. Okay, 30 gigs. Now he's got all these donations he's screaming and crying for, and these people are sending him money for 30 gigs of crap.
I'll tell you what, I'd be one mad mother if one of them sending him money.
I don't want to sit here and stare at a blade of grass for 3 hours.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on.
Now, like I said, I don't want to bash him completely, but he does have 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there of actual news coverage, okay? And I understand that you want to sit there and just kind of like, pan through what's going on out there, all these people, this or what they're taking the fence down here, whatever. But he's not, if he was there for his subscribers, he would be there for his subscribers. He wouldn't be rude getting on the phone, telling everybody, yeah, screw you, I'm over here on the phone, He wouldn't sit the camera down or drop it in the snow and walk away to talk to other people that he could be feeling important. I'm somebody. And if somebody's not giving him attention, hey, people, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
It's Pete Santilli. How many times can I say my name in a sentence? Does that remind you of somebody else? You know? He's got to be star attraction. Hey, Stuart Rhodes, I tore up my card. I'm a 3%er potato head now. You know? Who cares? It's not about you, Shatelli. It's about the people and what message is getting lost in your rhetoric of bullshit.
Yeah.
You really want to be there for your subscribers? You want to be there for we the people, the ones that are on your side, but can't get there because we don't have the means to get there, okay? You want to deliver this message? You're making things look horrible. So, you know, I just don't get it. I truly don't get it.
I think we found who the FBI troll is.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, he's on the jumbotron.
So he's the one giving them the orders at the FBI. That's why they haven't stormed the building yet.
Well, that would explain a lot.
He would have inside knowledge of what's going on.
Well,
Yeah.
You're muted. Well, if I go through all my notes, I can tell you this. He, it almost seems like he knows, like they're going by a playbook with him anyway. Because, you know, he's got the story. I have to keep you muted because I'm echoing through you, sorry. So either unmute when you want to talk and mute otherwise.
Well, hold on
Sorry,
there.
guys.
Quit muting me, damn you. The other day he said he was he was going to be the inbred or the inbed, whatever the hell.
He's a potato head 3%er now. He's making a mockery of something that's good.
Yes.
Yep.
If you're a patriot, then God, you know, that's great. And I'm a patriot. I'm a constitutionalist. I mean, you know, I believe that, you know, I'm not anti-government by far. Don't get that wrong. I believe we need to be governed in some way. The overreach is beyond what I envision of government, okay? We're not even allowed to raise our children anymore. Health care, every aspect they're in. School, education, the whole nine. No, I don't believe in that. Okay, that's not what it was there and put in place for.
Yeah,
and
it
I know
never was. It's the government is not here to take care of us. It is here to govern the country.
Exactly.
Not to change the subject here, but it looks like Jakarta is going through a French-style attack.
Where?
Jakarta, Indonesia.
Huh.
Apparently they had 4 bombs go off. Now they got other suicide bombers. It's not looking pretty.
No.
Well,
I cannot read Indonesian, Jackson. Nice try.
why not?
I'm good. I am good, but I am not that good.
You need your translator.
Yes.
I'm
Look,
getting
As
to
soon as
work.
you find one.
So my whole point, aside from that, thank you, Gunny. Squirrel. My whole point is if you're going to be a patriot and claim that fame, if you're going to be a constitutionalist and claim that fame, if you're going to claim to help the ranchers, the people, the country, protecting the Second Amendment, being able to regurgitate whatever you can find coming out of the constitutional handbook, okay, then do it with some kind of tactfulness and professionalism. If you make yourself a mockery of everything, no one's going to take you serious. And you're going to have people doubting the whole scenario. He's going to end up ruining everything Ammon is trying to accomplish out there. If it's genuine, okay? Let's just put it that way, if it's genuine. And to sit through this train wreck and watch him try to be a part of it and want the attention and screaming at everybody, look at me, I'm on Jumbotron at the FBI trailer. Who cares about Chantilly, okay? It is not about him. It's about what's going on in the world right now. Every scenario he's ever been in, the Baltimore spitting in a cop's face. You know what? That's that man's job. He was doing a job, and the mayor is the ones you should have been spitting in her face, because she had put those cops on a short chain. They weren't allowed to do anything but what they were doing, and he's going to spit in that man's face. Now, what kind of patriot will spit in another citizen's face like that? You know, he doesn't approve of the rioting and the looting to get their message out to express themselves, and hey, that's kudos to him. But at the same time, you know, he's going to add to the problem by being a provocateur. You know, you can't get your positive message across through negative actions. Period.
What Pete needs, do you remember that there was the one, I think it was Baltimore, the one kid rioting, and his mom actually saw him on TV and came down
and whooped that ass.
Him. Yeah, that's what Pete needs.
Yeah, he does. Because it's all about him. Hey, people, I did this. When he gets on the phone, does he actually listen to what Ammon has to say, or does he interject constantly? Look what I did. Hey, I did this. Hey, I did that. I talked to this guy. I called that guy. We're out here doing community services. What community service are you performing? I see you talking to crap. You're down there with a cell phone on a selfie stick, for crying out loud. Okay? I mean, a selfie stick cell phone. Crappy video. But you're there for the real story. Well, you can't deliver the real story if you're in constant need of attention for yourself, and you're charging, or not charging, I can't say that. He's being manipulative in ways, asking for donations to give the real story of 3 blades of grass sticking through a snowfield. You have to give people real news. You know, interview like a real journalist would do. You know, show your own, you know, stuff through without bias. You have to be unbiased. You have to separate yourself from the story and look through the eyes of an interviewer. You get bent out of shape because ABC, NBC, all these mainstream news media are acting with some type of professionalism. They're not out there with a bullhorn. They're not out there provocating, and you're not helping matters by acting negative. You know? If you just shut up for a minute and take the information in and then relay it to your subscribers, you know, in a professional way. And I understand that, you know, we're all, you know, steered clear from the, you know, the Leave It to Beaver days. But, and now we're in 2016 and we all act a fool anyway. And that's fine. I mean, we're only human. And I'm not going to bash for that. But if you're going to actually get funded to do this stuff, then give them back something more substantial than grass, bumpers, the road, you screaming like an idiot, provocating. You bring more harm to yourself and to the situation than you would if you just do, you know, be out there for what you said you're out there for.
Right.
You know, deliver the real news. Separate yourself from the situation. Don't become the situation. You know? Because now he's going from being an embed to an inbred, and that's crazy.
Right. Right. I think our actual patriotism on a journalistic level is lacking an actual journalist to be out there in the field and doing it right. And I see that as a whole in the movement.
Yeah, and that's true. It's very true. I mean, now you have people going to poke fun at him, and he's going to get mad, and he's going to lash out, and he's going to call you a troll. I'm going to be a troll after this. I'm going to be a dunce cap wearing troll on the Jumbotron of Pete Santilli.
Yeah, well, we'll all be on there with him.
You know?
Okay.
We're the Jumbotron.
And you know, the way
And I got drone ordnance. If you need my drone ordnance, I can put that out there for you.
Exactly. It's about him. It's all me, 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 me. It's not about you, fool. It's about what's going on out there. You're losing the real message, you know, of what positive things going on.
Why aren't we getting any good information about it? Is there any talks with Bundy and this other shit going on, or they're just standing there? These ones are standing over there because that's what it seems like.
Well, they
I'm in my trailer. I mean, you're in my refuge. Blah 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 blah.
Well, the only thing, if you step back and look at the big picture, okay, they started out supporting Hamden's, that fell through. Now they decided they're going to help all the ranchers out there. We're going to set up a community service so that it would look like we're out there actually helping everyone, the ranchers and families, and the whole town is obviously backward. They don't like outsiders to begin with. And why Oregon, for crying out loud? Why take your stand there? I mean, understand it's a personal vendetta against BLM for Ammon, but you want the 100,000 people, you know, to come out there and support you. How are you going to support those 100,000 people that leave their jobs or leave their lives behind to come out to support this cause, to stand up? I understand, yes. I'm a true believer. We need to stand for something, or otherwise we're going to fall for anything. But right now, why? Why that? Why now? And the way you're doing it, it makes absolute no sense. And where's the resolution? Seriously, how are you going to take on the BLM?
Well, the way they're doing it, it's not going to work. The only way to take on the BLM and for it to actually hold any bit of constitutional water to it, and yes, you can send your hate mail to me. I don't give a freak. It has to be on the state or county level. The local government has to say enough is enough, either by act of the legislature, which would be great if a legislature would actually get the cojones to actually pull this off. You need a legislature that votes on it and a governor willing to enforce the edict from his legislature and tell the feds to get off their land. It's the only way that works.
So basically they're just blowing smoke up their own asses by sitting out there freezing and asking for snacks and staring at the snow piles because they're not going to get anywhere. They gave their list of demands or whatever that they're asking for. That's not going to work. It's just a matter of needing to take this on a much bigger spectrum by going through the legislation, right?
And don't forget the French vanilla creamer.
Yes.
The only way that you can get demands like this met by the Fed is if you have hostages, if you're a terrorist group and you have bombs placed somewhere that will do mass casualties, or some other national catastrophe type thing. Doing it the way they're doing it is not going to do anything but get them landed in a federal penitentiary somewhere.
Well, here's another theory. You know, we're by the day, it seems like it's going by the day, we're getting more false, fake attacks all the time. You know, it could very well possibly be something on the lines of being a false flag?
It could be. It could be completely rigged by the Fed. I mean, put that out of my mind.
To me, things seem too choreographed. You know, because, I mean, the way, and I'm just going through Centilli's real news, picking out what's real news from everything, all the garbage that he's charging or asking for people to donate money for and wasting their money on snow and bumpers. The little bit of news that I am getting from him, with all the crap aside, to me it looks choreographed. It really does. I mean, the way they're going about things, how this happens, how that happens. This new fire marshal, whatever, who's resigning, you know, he's worked for these guys for 24 some years, and now all of a sudden, out of the blue, he can't work for a company or a government that he can't trust. You could never trust a government. Come on, this is not new. This is not something that just popped up yesterday. This has been going on forever. So how can you know, I'm going to resign? All these things look like made-up props. It looks like a big false flag event. And even if they were able to get, say, the entire state of Oregon on their side, okay, I don't see it happening. But just say they had the whole state on their side. And then it goes to another state. And I've seen it happen before with all these laws and things happening. Even in the vaping community, it happens, okay, with the legislation. It's like a domino effect. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody jumps on the bandwagon, okay? So if they were able to do it on a state level, and that's where they need to start at, not just, the community, not just, trying to pull every 100,000 people, you need to actually really do start on the state level, and I don't see none of them getting there. They talk to this lawyer, they talk to that lawyer. Things are going on behind the scenes we don't know about that comes out little at a time, but the way it's being conveyed to the public right now, it looks like a staged event.
Well, it is staged. Whether it's staged by the Fed or it's staged by these clowns, and this is what they are, they're clowns. It's a staged event. You don't take over a wildlife reserve where there's nobody there and expect a political outcome. It doesn't happen. The Fed will just muster gas you or whatever, sleeping gas you, come in, throw handcuffs on you, you're done. You have no way of defending that position, so why even do it?
And not only that, but like I said, we are a preparedness group. We prepare for whatever event that could happen, whether it be natural or man-made. When I put myself in a situation of survival, of bugging out, okay, to my bug out location, and I have my bob, and I have all my supplies that I've been prepping forever, French vanilla creamer has never come up, okay? Never, not once. A hair dryer, okay? I mean, just dumb stuff. These things, this is what makes me think it's a makeshift, thrown together, civvy situation, not real militia act like this. They know better. They know what it means that you be out in survival, You don't have all these amenities. You deal with it. You adapt and overcome, okay? So, this is what just all these little tiny red flags just kind of pop out at me. It doesn't make any sense.
You remember Occupy Wall Street, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
This is the militia version of Occupy Wall Street. We're going to camp out in a park, and we're going to demand that things change. Are they going to? Hell no, nothing's going to change. This is just applause to get me on national TV and get my face out there in recognition. And besides, have you seen Santilli's hair? He needs a blow dryer. He definitely needs a blow dryer.
Which end? Because you don't have much going on at the top. It's all kind of in the back. It's like a reverse mullet type thing going on there. I'm not quite sure what,
but that's the part he needs to blow dry.
But hey, wait.
He needs a curling iron too.
But he's got a new hat. Did you not see his new hat? He's got a cowboy hat. He's blending in.
A cowboy hat can only cover up so much bad hair.
Well, regardless, hey, I've got my bad hair days too. I don't care what you say. I'll throw that shit up in a hair tie and call it a day. That doesn't affect me being an asshole or a provocateur.
I'll get you a new cowboy hat if you want.
I'll like me a Stetson. Can you get me a 3% or potato head patch, please?
Let me call.
It's hard.
Hey, there's the thing. That's another thing that makes me wonder. When they got with the feds in the middle of the road there, or wherever the hell they were playing, did that seem real to anybody?
Say that again.
The Fed.
When the FBI and this guy from what's his name from the Idaho 3%ers, and they had
Brandon
their little
Curtis.
They had their little meet down in the road. I'm not buying that too much.
Well, what I can understand, or bits and pieces I can pull that's legible to understand or be able comprehensible from Pete's rhetoric of crap, is that they were there on January 2nd for the rally. They left, went back home, rallied the troops, and then all gathered back to confront the FBI. Now, I found it kind of weird how one of the 3%ers from Idaho during the rally, he had a black sweatshirt on, sunglasses, I can't remember if it was a baseball cap, but he had a beard and kind of longish hair. It was a stocking cap. He was on Santilli's heels, that if his Santilli would have cracked a big fart, he would have blew him away. Everywhere he went, that's where this guy was. He was like a lost puppy. If he went to the car, he was there. If he no matter where, like he was his private security, hands in his pockets the whole time. And he was an Idaho 3%er. but I don't never see him talking to anybody, like, interview-wise, or being a main player, per se, not like Brandon. So that kind of made me think, like, what's this about? And then all of a sudden they show back up, and, now all of a sudden, they're there to confront the FBI. They're there to, set things straight, to organize this whole affair. And, I'm just thinking this whole thing is a fiasco, and they're getting mad because people are poking fun at it. People are pulling it apart. People are conspiracy theories. Everyone's very skeptical right now because of the way it's handled, and the game players and the attention seekers, essentially. All the way things are happening from this standpoint, it looks like it's concocted.
Well, MG, that Brandon Curtis was at that meeting right after on the first day too, and that wherever they were, whatever building they were in.
Fairgrounds, I think. But yeah, he in his interview.
And the other dude was riding with Santilli because he got out of Santilli's vehicle.
Well, in Brandon's interview, he said that he left, went home, and came back. He rallied the crew to start the proceedings with and confront the FBI. Why them? Why not Ammon? Ammon's the one that has the hard on for the BLM, right? So why not Ammon be the one confronting this? Why isn't he leading the band of Merry Misfits? Why isn't he the one he only comes out, you only see him for 5 minutes a day to give a daily briefing. Maybe he's doing everything behind the scenes, I don't know. But he should be the limelight if this is what it's all about. He started this, he's the ringleader. He should be, the one structuring everything. And he should be the one confronting the FBI, not these Idaho guys. I mean, seriously, none of this makes any sense. So therefore, people are poking, prodding, and making fun of everything, and it's a mockery now. No one's taking them serious. It's hard to.
Here's the other interesting point: if you go and confront a police officer and you are armed, and he knows you're armed, and you start getting very hostile, his first reaction is going to be to grab his firearm and tell you to disarm. We had an incident just up the road from my house. State constable knocked on a guy's door to evict him. Forced eviction because the guy would not leave after he'd been served multiple times. He knocked on the door, guy answered the door. He shut the door, apparently picked up an AR, slung it behind his back, opened the door again, and then leveled it at the officer. The first reaction of the officer, unholstered his gun and shot him through the arm, ended up killing a 12-year-old little girl.
Aye,
because the 40 caliber round went through the guy's shoulder and hit the girl.
No kidding.
The guy, which happens to be, my neighbor's friend happens to be the guy's cousin. The constable's locked up in a church right now because he's gone mental because he had to pull his gun and shoot this idiot. Right. This idiot has only been charged with aggravated assault. He should have been tried with first-degree murder because his daughter ended up dead because a constable had to disarm him.
So indirectly, he is what he did. Indirectly, he caused the death of his own child.
Right, and in Pennsylvania, if I'm correct, if somebody dies as a result of you doing a felony activity and leveling a gun at a state official is a felony, then he should be tried for murder.
And I agree with that.
Now, here's the other interesting point. If these guys are confronting the FBI, which has the same training as any basic law enforcement officer, if they're confronting an agent with a firearm and the agent hasn't leveled their firearm at them, at least to tell them to back off and disarm, then you know it's all staged.
Right.
Because that does not happen. The officer will pull his gun. The officer will level you. He doesn't ask questions at that point. He's already got enough with you aiming the gun at him to drop you.
Well, the shoddy audio
they didn't aim any weapons, but they did have them.
Yeah, but the FBI agent inquired for a cell phone number of one of these guys for main of contact. Now, if they're on the Jumbotron and they've got drones and all this high-tech equipment that Santilli says, they surely wouldn't have to ask for your cell phone.
No, they would have obtained a warrant from the general whichever federal courts in that area of Oregon would have obtained a warrant, served it to the cell phone companies, and they would have gotten a list of every cell phone number broadcasting out of that area, and they would have just started calling numbers off of it, or they would have started pinging the cell phones for locations.
Well, apparently, upon one of the Verizon store visits that Pete went to obtain more broadband, as he says, that as soon as he left that store, an FBI agent called the lady that helped him, the clerk there. And so if that's the case about obtaining information, then they can get information on anybody since they're the big brother, So why would he ask for a cell phone number? All these different things. If you're notorious for being perceptive and aware of your surroundings and everything that it entails, okay, then you would be able to see the signs as if everybody else, the ones that are being skeptical and making fun and poking fun at this stuff, sees the signs of a setup. This looks like a mass, false flag in the making. I mean, something not good is going to come of this, especially when you're not even trying to work with the state, as you say, in order to have a nice, positive resolution to this.
If you're going to be constitutional with it, once the state governor and the county sheriff tell you to leave, that's your cue to pack your bags and leave. The sheriff is the chief law enforcement officer of that county. The governor is there to enforce the laws of the state. Those two people are the supreme lawgivers in that state.
We haven't heard from the governor, have we?
I think the governor came out in the YouTube. I think Dabu posted it.
Okay, but the sheriff's already told him to go.
Right, and that is
enough. Told
enough.
Ammon to pack up and go.
Okay, well, Ammon, in Ammon's defense, his theory now is to say, okay, the sheriff is corrupt. The town is corrupt. All the BLM guys are corrupt. All of this is a big land grab, corruption of crap, and he's aimed to expose it.
Right, but it's not Ammon's job to expose it. This is a job that's left up to the people of Oregon to expose. He's a Nevadian. He needs to go back to Nevada. If it's happening in his county, then yes, he is within his rights to oppose the sheriff on it. But this isn't even his county. He's not even from this state. Right. See, if you're from, say, where I'm at, Perry County, if you're from Perry County and the Perry County sheriff tells you to go home, well, guess what? I'm at home. So give me something else. I'm a constituent of yours. I have a right to call you on the carpet. Somebody from California does not have a right to come out here and tell my sheriff what to do.
Exactly. Exactly. And I agree with you. And we could go on and on and on for weeks on this stuff, and I can keep on bashing Santilli, and I can bash somebody else, and let's find somebody else to bash. What else do we have out there in the news before my blood pressure goes popping?
It looks like we have a terrorist Paris-style attack in Jakarta going on at the moment.
What?
Look and
How
see.
did I miss that?
We were on Santilli.
Sorry, you get me going, and it's hard to pull me back.
Oh, where's it? I gotta pull up the right one here. Another explosion. According to the Indonesia police, 3 police officers and 3 civilians are dead. They're looking for 10 to 14 perpetrators. They've had 6 explosions and heavy gunfire. Let me see if I can find the last report here. My computer's not wanting to load.
We're working in slow mode.
Yeah, slow motion.
You're on the Jumbotron.
Apparently they've hacked my computer and it's taking forever.
They're only regulating what you can see.
Can I do screen share now?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. If it locks us up, I'm blaming you.
It won't let me do anything. Screen share was. But
anyway, I'll screen share from here.
I'll put Jackson put the link up, but I'll reshare it for it's in your admin room.
Got it. Okay, we're on Twitter. Am I correct? Am I right?
Yeah, so all the news right now is coming out of Twitter. Last report I had out of Fox was several explosions heard in downtown Jakarta, casualties reported. But it doesn't say how many. The one report I saw said there was at least 3 deaths and they were caused by grenades. So I mean, it's a little more advanced than your typical pipe bombs and such.
Yeah, I don't know what this is, but I only get one word: guys, and info. Sorry, 2 words. Oh, terror and terrorists.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Looks like CNN's covering it now.
Yeah, it looks like Pete Santilli's camera view. Look at all that mess.
The clarity's a lot better, but they've called in their version of the National Guard, I believe now. But supposedly they've been cracking down on the ISIS sympathizers there.
Right.
For about a couple weeks now.
Obviously, it's not working.
So I guess they decided they needed to retaliate.
Right.
Here's one report that says at least 6 people killed after explosions and gunfire erupt. I think it was 6 dead and 10 to 14. I hate how Twitter updates.
Yeah.
It buries my information.
Damn. Oh, looky here. Let's move on.
6 explosions, heavy ongoing gunfire, at least 4 dead, 10 to 14 gunmen at large.
Right.
That's PZF.
Huh.
Maybe.
Did you guys not get my screen share all the time, the whole time, or only when I spoke?
Only when you spoke.
Okay. Because I went off for a minute. Sorry about that. I'm learning as I go. Give me a break. Don't bash me. I can't take constructive criticism. My name is Santilli. Oh, sorry. I'll let it go. I'm going to let it go. Let it go. Oh.
They're now 1 hour and 19 minutes into it.
The great and powerful Oz. Say again, Gunny. I'm sorry.
They are apparently about 1 hour and 20 minutes into the middle of this event.
No kidding.
Which
what
I'm not
time
sure.
Is it over there?
Let's see. It's Indonesia.
It's almost 1 o'clock.
No.
In the afternoon.
Yeah, like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., something like that.
Okay. Wow.
Because all the stock markets over there are saying it's just after 2.
Right.
Between 1:30 and 2:30. Which, by the way, they're all tanking except for Shanghai. So. Yeah, I mean,
Shanghai's never good, Gunny.
Well, they are controlled by the commies, so.
Shanglo could be dangerous as well.
100 low.
Something like that. Wow. It's like I said, it comes in droves, and you know, and I hate to say it, but I mean, what if that stuff happens here? What if it starts taking place here? New York, D.C. I mean, I'm not going to miss D.C., but I mean, still. You know, I mean, how do we prepare for something like that when everybody is, they're in disbelief or too engrossed in their own lives right now and waiting for that proverbial traffic collision, you know, that keeps going until someone puts a light up, and we're trying to put the light up by waking up the masses, and it's not working. What happens if we have a major event like that in New York?
We're going to have a lot of other problems if that happens in New York.
I mean, and then you have this thing about China, and they were training on our soil, and I read an article, and I can't, for the life of me, it escapes me right now, what's going on in the future with them.
Well, they're training for the world's next superpower.
The New World Order.
Nah, I don't know if China will sign off on that, but that's what they're training for. The superpowers are starting to shift. Thanks to our last couple presidents.
Yeah.
But, oh no, the liberals are going to be up in arms. One of the explosions was heard at a cafe next to Starbucks.
Oh! That's a big hit.
We must send in the National Guard and the 1st Infantry now.
Well, we don't want to disturb those at Starbucks.
We can't disturb Starbucks. That's like, there was a comedian at one point that said, could you imagine if the terrorist attack happened in St. Louis? and it disrupted the beer trade in the U.S.
Oh,
my!
Every redneck and hick would be marching into the Middle East and killing everything.
You know it, baby. You're messing up my Miller Lite.
Exactly.
oh my gosh, that would be the worst thing. I mean, I don't know, just the thought of all this stuff, you know? It's
Let's
like...
stop a second here.
What?
All the cell phone purchases and the
Missing propane tanks?
propane tanks and stuff all seem to got quiet.
Oh, yeah, because they're waiting for the next big purchase. They're still trying to tie all that together. You got cell phones, you got laptops, and you got propane tanks. Hello, people. That kind of stuff goes boom.
Yeah, but they don't want you to put the pieces together.
Well, it's pretty freaking obvious unless you're a complete blithering idiot.
We have enough of those in this country.
Well, I was about to
Yeah,
say that complete blithering idiot makes up most of this country now.
And that's so unfortunate.
Yes,
And-
it is.
And on a weather note, it looks like the Northeast from about New York up is going to be hit with a blizzard this weekend.
good. They can have it.
Oh, well, you're in the snow belt of that storm too, so.
No, we live below the snow belt.
Well, your area was widely blue when I looked at the map.
I think you're
It's widely
colorblind.
cold out there.
It looks like it's going to go up the back end of the Appalachians and come up across the top of my area, like up I-80.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's supposed to deepen and get really bad off of, what was it, like the Boston coastline?
It's only 17 degrees here now.
That's
So
warming up because it was 14 earlier.
Yeah, but the real feel is 0.
Oh, perfect. I'm going swimming.
I'm grabbing my snorkel and floaties as we speak.
I have bad news. This is horrible. I am only...
We bored your dog to death. Look at him.
I'm only at 45 degrees right
You
now.
suck. You
Well,
can
that's
keep
twice
your-
what I got.
He can keep his happy butt down there in Florida where it's nice and warm and beachy.
I say Winter Survivor Series should be held at Radars.
Oh, see, now how are you supposed to gain anything from that?
I
don't
thought
know,
it was
it's pretty
vacation.
For our viewers who don't know, our group supports a survival weekend twice a year, one summer, one winter. That way you get the full scope of what it's really like when you're out there and in the wilderness or whatever, when a bug out scenario. We do a whole weekend of training. One day is survival skills, fire building, water purification, all the things that entail in that. Cooking out, on your fire that you build, your tent or whatever you're going to use. Our radar from Florida likes to have a hammock. We call him a bear taco. We're in the middle of the woods for crying out loud. And he brings a hammock, and he's like a bear taco. So we do all that one day. The second day is just tactical basic training with firearms and the like. So we do that once in the summer and once in the winter. That way we get the full scope because hey, obviously there's no perfect timing when something goes off. Something happens there. It's not going to say, oh, it's raining. Let's wait 5 minutes. It's like, oh no, it's wintertime. Let's wait till spring. It doesn't work that way. It's any given moment, any time something can happen. This event that just took place, this terrorist attack, there was no indication it was going to happen. So you need to be on your game all the time and prepared all the time, whether it's winter, summer, raining, whatever the scenario may be. And that's what we preach that constantly. So, but we have a good time when we do it too, don't we, Gunny?
Yes, but a little warning, the winter one, you might want to plan on possibly having to stay for an entire week. Because if the snow acts up, you're not getting it back out.
And hey, we're in the national forest up there, so it might just happen. It just might happen. You never know.
And knowing how PennDOT cleans roads, good luck.
Well, if you ain't got yourself a 4x4 by God and a big old tin cowboy hat like Pink Santelli,
and some chains for your tires.
Right on. So yeah, I don't know. I just there's too much stuff going on. Too much stuff going on. Too much. It's quiet before the storm. I also hear Yellowstone has a 10% chance of exploding. 10% chance. So let's all freak out. Yeah, that was in the news 2 days ago, I think.
Let's go take a bag of popcorn up there and some hot dogs, and we'll roast them on one of the geysers.
Right? Hey, I'm all for that, although that sulfur smell's not too keen.
According to the latest news update on Jakarta, tanks have arrived at the scene of the blast.
They're taking this pretty serious.
Keep in mind that this also happened right outside the UN headquarters.
Ah, bingo.
So there's your political excuse to bring in tanks.
Yep.
Yeah, well.
And political
Get rid of them while you
excuse to
can.
bring in the UN.
What's that?
And political excuse to bring in the UN.
Yeah, that's true too. Well, guys, you know what? We're just about on the 2-hour mark. I say we should wrap this shit up.
All right.
Save the rest for another day, because you know it's going to happen. Everyday news happens.
Yep,
Just
we'll
like
be back on Friday, so.
Exactly. Our shows are going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Boom. So I say, you guys, be sure to like our videos, subscribe. We have lots more coming in the future. Check out our Twitter, Facebook pages, and Tumblr. Links will be posted below. And remember, everyone, it wasn't raining when Noah built that ark. So prepare today to survive tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.
Night.
Good night, all.